Follow me in. And I'm assuming we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Part 2 of this sesh. We're going to pick up right where we left off. There's wounded aboard the crew of the Curio Nimbus as it is sailing off towards the island of Geneset. Everyone is aboard the deck. Captain is busy at the helm. He's sailing the ship. His crew is helping him out. And we just knocked out a Genemental with a fluctuating core about to go wild with some ether medicine. So you're all there, standing aboard the deck. Is there anything anybody wants to do during the journey to the island?
I'm bringing balance to the universe.
I'm brainstorming the song.
Beautiful. You're bringing balance. All right, Borbo, is there anything on your mind?
Nothing really. Just really waiting for it to get there. Finally getting to land, I think.
Okay, perfect.
Yep, and I'm watching and helping out with Tasala. I think I'm so interested and intrigued in like your Genemental healing style.
Very cool. So as this is going on, those of you who would like, you guys can make me a perception check.
My perception is shit, so I don't know if I want to, but I'll do it anyway.
Just in case.
12.
All right. So Borbo got a 7. Is that a
That's an
natural
11 for me, but I'm not really paying attention as I'm still musing.
All right. Yeah. Rowan. As you're there, you're focused. Your ears perk up to a sound, and I think you wince for a split second as you recognize the sound as the call of the Leviathan, as you hear it from beneath the waves.
Whoa, where we are?
Very, very low. It just peaks a little bit in your ears. Yeah.
Heart's pounding. I think. Do you hear that? Just looking over at Tasala.
What did you say?
Did you hear that?
No. I rolled a 12. I heard nothing.
I think I just kind of like whatever I'm doing, I put down and I make my way immediately to the captain. Captain, I seem to have heard the Leviathan in the waves.
What?
I'm still being Navi. What did you hear? What did you hear as you're walking toward the captain?
Yeah, you see me like look spooked as I make my way away from you.
Damn it. Are you sure, Rowan?
Yes.
Barge, get over here. And he kind of like, in like 3 big bounces, kind of gets to the top deck next to the helm. And goes, what is it? What's wrong? Rowan here says that he can hear the Leviathan. He kind of stands up a little straighter. Oh, she can't be back. And he'll hop over to the edge of the ship, kind of look down, and well enough, this big shadow begins to approach from under the ship. Everyone, grab hold of something! Holds onto some ropes. And Barge is going to slap his belly. And there's going to be this kind of like reverberation, this magical echo is going to kind of symbol out to everybody onto the ship. You're all going to have advantage on strength and constitution saves as he bolsters
Both
you
or either?
with the earth. Both.
Nice.
The shadow kind of grows. It grows as it begins to approach. Some of the crew members come up to the captain. They go, "Should we prepare the cannons?" And as soon as that happens, the captain gives a nod, but he does look to Barge, who he seems quite distraught. It would be for the best if we did not anger it further, but maybe it's too late for that. We might all be swimming with the fishies in just a moment anyways. Go on, man the cannons!
What if we made a distraction? The seller and I have already caught its eye, if you catch my drift.
It's a good one. That's good.
I'm not going to risk my crew, and I'm not just about to risk the life of a stranger neither. Rowan, what do you have planned?
If I and Gisela could lift Trevor and his loud sound, we might be able to draw it, or at least its gaze, and give everyone a bit of time.
Was I able to catch a recording of the Leviathan the first time?
Yeah, I mean, that was, everyone could hear the cries of the Leviathan, so if you wanted to do that, you could.
I might be able to tweak it, to appear like perhaps the sounds of a different Leviathan. And maybe that, played as loud as I possibly can, will help to draw it away.
And then Rowan has an idea, and he looks over at Borbo, and he's, Borbo, would you disguise yourself? And you could be a Leviathan. You're so huge.
Borbo looks like on him, and he has like a I think he had like that eye from the fish that he collected, and then he's like, "This is all I have."
I have some ability with a disguise kit, but I'm unsure if we have the time to make Borbo appear as a Leviathan, or the means.
God damn it. If only someone had magic that they could cast.
What do you need to disguise him for? I doubt the Leviathan can make sense of whatever is in front of it. Now look, you're big, Borbo, but you're not that big.
Borbo's like a little salty. He's like, "No one's ever called me small before." That's just what he's thinking about.
Captain peers off to the side, and the shadow is growing. It's like clearly getting closer to the ship. And he goes, "All right, fine. A lot of you, go. How are you going to get out there? You can take your ship, Borbo. Your boat."
Yeah, that thing. Borbo runs up to his boat. It's in the back, right? I believe it's in the back of the ship.
Is it like a rowboat?
It's like a freaking two-person boat that has a little bit of like cargo in it, probably some like fish remains, but like just with his weight though, it's like half sinking. So I don't know if it could take any other weight. So maybe one other person, but maybe an ooze actually.
Like,
Well, we're going to carry the ooze. I think Ika would probably jump on.
Yeah, anyone that's light. Borbo says, anyone that's under 30 pounds.
Oh, that's moment. Yes.
Ika, Tasela. I don't think Trevor weighs too much.
A popping corn.
And Barge is going to go, yes, I could even propel the ship forward if you need to be. I can give you guys a little boost. I have very strong legs.
Oh, I think that'd be cool. That might even be faster than Rowan's flight.
Sounds good.
I'll just stick myself to the bottom of Borbo's
I'm
boat.
confident, my
Oh, nice.
ship
And then, so yeah, I'll just jump in. If that's what we're doing, I'll jump in, no problem. Now this is what stories are made of.
So you get under the ship. Right now it's currently lifted. It's not in the water just yet. It has to be like pulleyed down. It's like it's a sloop essentially. It's kind of like a small sloop. You can sort of barely hold Borbo, but you also know, Borbo, that if there was another person on the ship or multiple people, they might actually help balance the weight. So it might actually provide a little more stability. if
Does
more
Borbo do
people
this on
get
purpose? You said there's
on
cargo.
board.
You could put all the cargo in the front,
Where was
like
it?
everything in the back.
They're sitting like on the cargo, so it's just like whoa. He
You're
doesn't
just
have any
wanna
engineering
be
classes.
riding like that, riding the waves.
He's a crusty pig. But yeah, that's what I'm pretty sure everyone would fit. Just in terms of balance, that might be it.
Does it have a single sail, or does it have like a little onboard like sideboard motor or something?
I think Borbo was on raw dog it with freaking paddles. Yeah, he's at the paddle. That's what I imagined, but I guess that's not canon,
It's
right?
your ship, man. Whatever you want.
That boost, my froggy friend.
Yes. Everyone, get on the ship. I will. He starts to like with his sticky little fingers like climb down the back of the ship.
I want to be. I'm more like the figurehead, actually. I'm like on the front of the sloop.
The captain starts turning the ship, kind of like presenting so that the sloop can be pushed off, essentially towards the island ahead of the Leviathan.
We're wakeboarding the sloop.
And Barge kind of like sticks on with one half of his body, and then like his tiny little legs beneath him, they actually stretch out like really long, and so he kind of like sticks them to the back of the sloop and like pulls it in close with his suction cups, and he's just there like ready to push off. So who exactly is on the ship? Rowan, are you getting on the ship as well, or are you flying?
I think this is the kind of instance where we want to fly. But Tessella, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like we're about to be left behind if we're in the air.
Yeah.
So I almost think like maybe we like have like a rope on the ship or something.
Oh, to anchor us down, you mean?
Yeah, so we can just get dragged with it, but we won't.
Skis, get some like water skis.
Like they do like that where where they like take a kite and they like fly over the freaking place while a boat pulls them. That's cool.
Yeah.
I think just not to be like stuck in a rope, Tessella is going to let you get tied up in the rope, and then she'll just sit in one of your pockets or some shit.
Yes, absolutely. I have all those like little pouches and stuff for medicine, so.
He's a kangaroo.
Who said that?
Has a little kangaroo pouch.
All of you hook yourselves up to the ship or get on board the ship. Ika's on the ship as well with you, Borbo. Trevor, you're on the bottom of the ship, right?
Yeah, bottom front.
Wait, no, you said the figurehead. Yeah.
I'm like half on the underside. Just my little head is peeking up out of the water, but
Amazing.
I can duck it underneath.
And the seagulls actually, they both fly and they sort of land on the front of the ship next to you, Trevor. And one of them goes, "I'm Koku, by the way." And then the stern one goes, "And I'm Uko.
Koku.
We'll make sure that all of you can get off the ship safely if the Leviathan does anything."
Nice.
And so they're prepped and they're waiting. They have their tridents. And Barge goes, "Are you ready?"
Yes, sure.
On the way! Kicks off with force. There's like you hear an audible crack in the back of the ship, as
Oh, no.
as the wood kind of like splinters a little bit from the force of his kick. And as soon as you go off, there's like a couple crew members there with the pulleys, and they unlatch the ropes, and you guys careen across. As soon as it hits the water, like a skipping rock, bah, 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 out far, far ahead of the Curio Nimbus.
Do I take damage from that?
Wow.
Could
Um,
Warble uses his like he imagines like just before like it lands, he charges up like his breath, like a really deep breath, and then as the boat submerges for the first time, he sticks his head in, and he just like blows out his freaking like his air, hoping to give it more velocity. What do I have to roll for that one?
Yeah, we don't have to do anything. That's just a feature you have.
Yeah, I'll
You
use
just
my
propel the ship with your breath. Do you have like a whirlwind breath? That's amazing.
it's called the boar's bellows. That's the feat, but it's just extra long breath. But yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah, he could like propel himself in the water with his snout.
So I think I'm like hand like covering almost you. I'm like back bent, waist getting pulled forward.
Yeah, the snap from the boat is not the only thing we heard. Your spine as the rope around your waist fucking goes taut.
Oh gosh. And I'm gonna say you guys make it out with the bore bellows 150 feet out in front of the Curio Nimbus, and the ship continues to it has its momentum. It's pushing along in the water, and you notice the shadow is kind of like completely. You see the thing now is maybe 50 feet below the ship. The huge shadow of it is completely beneath it. What are you guys preparing here to grab the attention of this Leviathan?
Well, I'll immediately start playing on my Goop Tom Toms the song that it sang before, but I'm going to pitch it a little bit like higher, so that it seems like maybe it's coming from a different beast. I'm hoping.
Okay.
And the only thing I can really do to boost that, wait, what does the item say? I should know. I made.
Would I be able to boost it with like thunderclap?
Well, it has a sonic wave ability that it can release a burst of sound for damage, but I'm not trying to necessarily damage anything. So I'm wondering if I can use that maybe at the same time to like heighten the noise of it. At the same time, I could also use like prestidigitation to make things louder,
You can use
right?
Warble's horn, eh? Like Warble has like a huge ass horn. I'm pretty sure like if some way to like fuse your instrument with his instrument could maybe create some crazy.
Probably, but like, do we have enough time to figure all that out?
Gotta roll for that one.
I would.
So, Trevor, you can definitely use like if your thing has like if you can boost the volume, and if you don't want to do the damage along with it, that's perfectly fine. I think that should be like well within your capabilities.
Yeah, the damage is only to a creature within 60 feet.
Okay, but you're not really targeting anything. You're just like
I'm just trying to make it as loud as possible.
Okay, so that's totally fine. You can do that. Borba, are you using your horn?
That was the plan. Whenever the problem is my horn's very big. How big, like is there enough space to actually whip out my horn? Because it's kind of.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's your ship. You could prop it up against the back of the ship, or.
Yeah, and actually, what I would like to do, I actually have 4 notes cast, 4 notes charged up from the previous fight, and actually, I wanted to get in range, but I wasn't asking you. I don't know what's my range for. Is it just a range of like 10 feet? That like
Yeah, I can take a look here at your character sheet. I think it was 10 feet radius from you at the center.
Okay, so yeah, in that case, like Warble would want to get into melee range to drop a song on it.
Okay. But I mean, you don't have to play those notes right away.
If
But
that's the
you're
case,
gonna
then-
hold off. You're gonna sort of like ready yourself, or if the thing approaches.
well, would I be able to play it without using a note? Is that possible?
Yeah, I mean it's
Okay,
still
yeah.
technically just an instrument. Like it's both a weapon and an instrument, and it has special features for in combat and special like battle music that you can play. But it's also an instrument that you could just play.
So yeah, I think Borb would definitely just play his big ass freaking crab horn.
So Trevor and Borbo, the two of you can make performance rolls for me. And Ika will join in as well. So she will give you guys the help action. So you guys have advantage
I'd love to roll a
on her fiddle.
Thank you, Ika.
Little
That got
fiddle, I believe it
freaking
was.
16. That's pretty good.
Oh my god, terrible. I rolled a 3 and a 9, but I get a +9, so 18.
Plus 9.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm a bard, bud.
Giga Chat. Giga Goop.
Right.
Actually, that's his real name.
Giga Goop. That's a new name.
That's a good one.
AKA Giga
GG.
Goop.
It's goop chatty.
Oh.
You see the plasmoid chin just grows on him.
How about the Goop
Here
Gizzler?
comes the Crimson Shin.
Exactly, Rice. My arch nemesis, the bronze kneecap, is out there somewhere.
Yes.
So what'd you get, Robert?
16.
16, and Trevor, you said 18?
Yes, sir.
All right. Two of you begin performing this whale song, this Leviathan song. The sounds of the goop tam tam create a fairly realistic sound of this creature, and then it is amplified by this deep bass that is coming from the massive horn that Borbo is playing. Then there are also these like high little trills that are coming off of the fiddle that is being played by Ika. Altogether, it's not necessarily a musical piece, but it is definitely something that will grab the attention of sea-dwelling critters. Let's see.
Borbo, I
Right.
appreciate your sacrifice, by the way, because I don't know if you realize you're not getting this little ship back.
It was a
The
leak.
shadow from under the Curio Nimbus begins to move forward, away from the ship and towards the little sloop. As it approaches, a big wave begins to lift as the creature rises out of the water, but just a few tens of feet away from the sloop. This wave begins to push you guys forward. And as the creature breaches its big, like pointed mouth with its mouth appendages closed, kind of pulls out. Half of its face is like well squinted. Its eyes are not opened on that side. The other side, though, there's just a couple that are closed, and it is peering at you, and it responds with a
Can I cast Detect Thoughts?
sure.
Okay. Can I upcast Detect Thoughts? I can. Does that work? If I upcast it, it's more creatures? Oops. Deeper into a target's mind to make the wisdom save. I don't know what happens when I upcast it. I guess it's multiple creatures, so I'm not gonna upcast it, but I'll just try and detect its thoughts. Yeah. Is it within 30 feet? I have to wait until it's within 30 feet.
Eventually it will be. It kind of pushes you guys forward as it breaches the water. There's like a huge wave that forces you guys ahead, but then it brings itself, and it's like very gently kind of just looking at you guys. And when it's in range, you can use Detect Thoughts. Is there like a contested DC that it has to make? I don't remember.
I can try to. So I'll get surface thoughts just by casting it, but basically it has to roll. I don't get anything if it doesn't know any language or isn't telepathic. So I don't know if you consider that a language. I can try to probe deeper. It'll make a wisdom save versus my DC, which is, I think, 14. Yeah.
Okay, so you'll definitely get the surface level thoughts. This this creature is it's curious. It's not necessarily speaking, or if it is trying to speak, it's speaking in a language that you cannot understand.
Mhm.
And I think that the Genementals in particular can hear like that its song, its voice is that in primordial, and and it's quite curious about the sound that you're emitting, especially because it's a little confused. It hears the sound that you're putting out, but it cannot understand what you're putting out because it is not also in primordial. So it's like a curious creature. It's approaching you with curiosity, and it's intrigued. It wants to hear more. Um, but then you kind of feel like a snap in its thoughts, as it suddenly becomes almost like it's been given some kind of order, and it lurches up its big head, and then those appendages begin to open up, and one of them kind of rolls out towards the little sloop, and inside the mouth you see a figure. You see a figure walk forward on its like fleshy mouth bits.
I don't like that at all.
It's this serpent-like woman with this long neck and this snake-like head. She has these frills on the top of her head that drape down and kind of cover the front of her face. You can't see her eyes; just the bit of her snout is kind of poking out. Her tongue flicks in your direction. She has these loose, kind of white robes, just sort of like draped around her, kind of almost like wraps. And she has this crystal salt trident in her hand, similar to the ones that Uko and Koku have.
Coco and Yoko Ono. Got it.
Yeah. And she takes a step forward, and from behind her, two more Genementals kind of begin to move forward. They have like fish-like appearances, and one of them is carrying this massive conch, and they go and they both hold it in front of her, and she like kneels down to speak into the conch so that her voice can project out to all of you. More strangers in my lands. And what's worse, you're in my way.
Who's she speaking to?
Yeah, Rowan's just.
Speaking to you guys.
Was that a question?
And
Rowan Stormbreaker would like to know. I've already got your names. You're gonna have many names too.
Yeah.
Would like to know if that was a question. I'm like calling out through the goop tom tom.
I'm curious what strangers such as yourselves are doing here on our shores. Speak.
Our reasons are as varied as as the beings of the land. But all of us are here for our own stories. What's your story?
Let me tell you. Wuma, Lift me. The Leviathan begins to lurch its head even further up. Now you can barely even see her anymore, as the Leviathan is basically just like a fish, kind of just completely perpendicular to the water. It's like treading with its fin. And from the conch, you hear her voice billow out. I have a message for you, strangers, and for my kin on the fortress who have allowed this to happen for so many years. We are about to enter the season of water and ice. So pack your things, visitors, because in 2 fortnights, all of Port Fiogo will be flooded or frozen or both. And if you remain, the elements will consume you. For the era of Odiah has begun. And with a big crash, the Leviathan kind of dips back down, leaves its head kind of just furled open, and she steps out to the tip, and she points out her trident at you guys in your small little ship. And she goes, leave now. Or better yet, throw yourselves off into the abyss, or die in Terra Frenetica, or find refuge with the other tribes. I don't care. You will leave my island. And without even giving you guys a chance, the Leviathan closes its mouth and
But I've only just arrived.
goes down into the water.
If we find refuge, how can we also leave? I don't. Look to the companions.
It'll kill us.
That didn't make sense, right? It's just not just me.
I think it was supposed to be menacing and threatening. As I don't know. I think it worked personally for me.
Koku kind of goes, oh, she's very upset.
Who exactly is that, Yoko?
Yeah, I've got the only native Genemental that's been like comrading with us.
There's 2 of them actually.
Yeah, there's 2 of them.
They look alike, but they're not one person.
Other than I'm like take Dacella out, and I'm like, what is that?
I was hiding.
Koku kind of goes, well, I think what she meant was that the other tribes are a little friendlier than Aquavita and Salmagica, but we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll take you in, won't we? We'll go. And he goes, no, this concerns us as well, Goku. I'm sorry about that. I need to speak with Barge. When he just kind of like flies off. Well, you see, that was Lafrina.
Lafrina.
She's the elder, or as we call them, the Cubador of Salmagica, of the Salt Sirens. Somewhat like the queen of the tribe.
Why? What did we do to anger her?
She's never really liked all the people that come here, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. A season of ice and water. I don't see how that can happen.
Doesn't sound great.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we
You
should
talk to Non. I think I should go talk to Non. I feel like this is something that we should talk to Non about.
I think everyone at Port Fiogo needs to know.
Borbo, turn this baby around.
Let's go, boys.
Is it not on the island though?
Yeah. At the top of
So
the
we're-
tippity top. Not even
so we're
halfway up.
We're not turning this around. We're going straight.
I think we're kind of going like perpendicular to the island because we knew that the Nimbus was going to the island and we were drawing them away. So I thought that's what was happening.
Yeah,
the-
I mean, you
Frog kicked us towards the island, I think, because then we would have had a chance to get to land before the Leviathan got us. I think that was Peter's thinking.
I thought we were sacrificing Borbo's little ship and then we're going to fly away like the flying people, and then we had the two
just
other
wanna destroy
flying
his
people to
ship.
take us away. Like we're not outrunning in what world were we going to outrun the Leviathan?
it wasn't gonna happen.
Rowan is of low intelligence, okay?
Fair.
Leviathan is gone now. It submerged and it cannot be seen. Its shadow has disappeared. And at this point, though, Borbo, if you start turning the ship around towards the Curionimbus again, the Curionimbus is also still making its way towards the island, so the two will meet. And you guys will hook the ship back up and pulley it back up. And all of you can return to the deck of the Curionimbus. When you do, you see that the captain and barge are talking to each other. And there seems to be some sort of disagreement happening. And barge is saying, I can get you all across the divide. It's fine. We have other methods. And he goes, no, I am not leaving. I left crew members here the last time I was here, and I'm here to pick them up. And when he sees you guys arrive, and you, Rowan, he kind of looks at you, and he pulls out a letter, and he goes, before we left on this journey, I received notice that my crew members had gone missing. They never arrived at the port with the shipment that I was meant to pick up. And I am not leaving without them. Barge has got his hand in his face. Lafrina will not let this go. She will keep her word. She can be that way sometimes. I just don't think it is safe here for all of you.
Latrina sounds like villain numero uno. The perfect nemesis for Rowan Stormbreaker.
Doesn't sound safe for anyone here. Not just us.
Safety isn't Rowan Stormbreaker's name. Rowan Stormbreaker is Rowan Stormbreaker's name.
Borbo, help me out here.
Depends on what everyone wants. Let's have a vote.
I already cast my vote. I need to talk to Nod.
Well, I cannot stop you. If you want to make landfall, that is up to you,
I can
Captain.
go
And
and come back.
2 fortnights. How long is a fortnight? Like a 15-minute game or something?
Battle Royale.
Bro,
2 fortnights is about a month, I'd say.
40 minutes.
Like when people say, oh, a score of something. What am I supposed to know what you scored?
Either way, we can't take her word for it. It's that Leviathan can attack at any moment. Barge, what do you make of this? What's really going to happen? What is this season of Water and Ice? They plan to destabilize the elements of the island in favor of those. They are hoping to perform an ascension.
What now?
It is something that happened many, many years ago. There was an ascension between the elements of fire and wind. And they ascended and they changed the island. But it was mutual. I don't know how they intend to do this, but it could throw all of Geneset into disarray. And it will kill many people. It will destroy the island for as much as I can tell. I do not know who this Odaya is that she speaks of. I have never heard of them. But I myself was supposed to take the Ascension at one point as the element of ice. Nevertheless, we need to get to shore, and we need to warn everyone, Captain. All right, then. If you see that Leviathan again, boys, don't hesitate to fire at it. I'm not taking any more chances.
Captain.
Captain, I think if we're to shoot at anything, it should be the whatever she was inside the Leviathan. The Leviathan, I touched its mind in a way. Nice beast.
Mm.
Pretty chill, actually.
Yes. Wuma is very kind. It is very unlike her to be so aggressive. I fear that Lafrena has done something to her.
Rowan Stormbreaker cannot let this go. Rowan, you hear that? An adventure awaits.
Enough with this. I'm not a combator, not a warrior.
I saw you take on that beast with naught but your bare hands. And that's going in the song, by the way. That is definitely going in the song.
That beast had feelings and thoughts and was kind and gentle, and what I did to it was not so kind or gentle.
It was undeserving, but if we focus that attention, the stories we could tell. I can see it now. You're going to be a star. And so will you. I'm looking at CSA to sell it.
Where am I still like?
Did
am
you
I
go?
freshly ripped out of it? Or did I yet? I didn't run off yet.
Yeah, you're just poking out of the pocket of Rowan.
Poking in the pocket. Like, hey,
I zoom in
peekaboo.
really close.
So there's just a ball, a glob of goop, gabagool, trying to
I'm vaguely humanoid shaped, actually, sometimes.
vaguely. You're gabagool.
Yeah, but
and
like vaguely handsome humanoid shape.
okay,
Just so we're all aware.
I understand that. Anyway, so the gabagool is telling me I'm gonna be a star.
The Globagool himself, actually. Another name.
So good.
Careful, if you say that too many times in a row, Daniel Borsellino shows up.
I need to write this down as gabagool.
Lava ghoul. That's fire, actually.
When you become an undead, Glabagoo.
It's a Sopranos over here.
CHOUL.
When a Shabagool.
You know what? I might just have to find you guys again. Well, frame check next time, and hold on. Before she rushes off, are all of the Genementals on the ship and surrounding ships, both ships, are they out of balance, in balance? Have we brought balance to the force? What's going on?
So the one who was out of balance, he is currently unconscious because of the medicine you gave him. You know that he still needs more treatment. When he wakes up, his core can might go wild again. The medicine on Genementals is a temporary measure that just lets them rest, because otherwise they can't get any rest while their core is going wild.
Right.
So yeah, he still needs some attention, but he's knocked out for at most 8 hours.
I think Tasala, you look like you're gonna leave, and Rowan's just like, I can't take care of him. I don't have the knowledge or the medicine that you have. I still need your presence here. Perhaps if we could bring him with us to go see your medicine mentor. What Nan, I think her name was.
It's also he's quite large. I can't exactly bring him, and
Oh, there's
I
a boat.
mean,
Gestures to the boat around us.
yeah, it's on the island. We have to get to the tippy top. You see the point, little hands like to the tippy top of that area. She's like the other side of the island.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, yeah, if you wanna carry this, if you want to carry him, you could do that.
I don't mind
Oh.
carrying anything. And we
So
have
sweet.
Borbo.
I absolutely mind. I don't want to carry anybody.
I think just out of character, Ika and Tasela having the ability to just have a free ride everywhere. I'm so excited to just hop from head to head and being like, "Hey, listen, hey," and then get angry. Like I think just like leaning over Rowan's shoulder and be like, "Let's get angry. Let's get angry right now."
Just the devil in his ear. Oh,
Like, rage. I'm just like, okay, anyway, I'm gonna make a note of that.
I'm scared.
Barge will approach. He'll go, Tasala, I think you should stay and watch, as Rowan says. The captain will get us to the island as quick as can be. Isn't that right, Captain? Yes. We'll get there in no time.
Borbo, do the thing. Put your lips in the water.
So yeah, Borbo definitely digs in there. You just hear like sound effects, and like sometimes like his lips don't like he's making sounds before he puts in the water, so you guys hear some sound effects as it's going in and out of the water, kind of thing. But yeah.
Amazing.
This is an elaborate setup, by the way, because you're on the Curio Nimbus, so you need to be like
Oh,
lowered down by like a rope and.
He dangled off the back.
Wait, no.
But it's fine. You can do that. We're gonna make our way towards the island. Unless there's more that you guys want to talk about here, you have the chance. But otherwise, we'll do a quick little time skip.
Wait, how sticky is the goop? That's the question. My question.
Which
Borbo.
goop?
No, I'm not getting gooped.
His goop. I'm saying if he's holding me with his goop from one
I'm
leg.
not holding you, buddy.
I don't think he could hold you.
You're way too big.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like
I'm not doing the
I don't know.
dangling. My goops, it'll stick to you, but it's not going to stick to me, if you know what I mean. My arms are just going to be gone. Their reach is a stretching point.
It's good to know.
Tuna.
So yeah, Borbo, you're kind of being like reverse waterboarded as you do this, being dunked into the water, and the ship makes its way towards the island. As you approach, you start to hear some noises from the island, and you get a better look at it. It is a large port town, maybe even closer to a city. There is a huge boardwalk of docks, and there's all manner of fishing vessels in particular that are stationed at the docks. There is a huge boathouse, and it has the words "the High Wind Core" written on it. And you notice several other buildings, and they all kind of lead up this slope. So from the beach all the way up to what looks like these like huge mountainous rocky formations that create like almost like a wall, like a plate at the other end of the beach. On the front, there's all these kind of like well-structured buildings that you would have seen in Tantor'In or in, if you're from Ronakadwil, just constructed with professionally. And then the more you go up the beach, it's little huts and strange kind of like these like weird twisting structures made of what look like dirt and clay and things like that, sort of integrated into the landscape. But yeah, you hear a bell in the distance as you approach the docks. The captain issues out some orders, and the crew members kind of begin to roll up the sails and get ready at the edge of the ship with ropes to fasten the ship as it gets to the docks. On the docks, you see there are quite a few people. There's a bit of a crowd has formed. There's all manner of sailors and fishermen and dock workers that seem to have approached. Some even begin to help immediately as ropes get tossed down. They start pulling the ship closer, and it slowly makes its dock. And there are several Genementals that have also come to kind of watch the ship approach. And as the plank is lowered down to the dock, the captain approaches and he goes, "We'll hold off on unloading the cargo. We have to speak. We have to speak to the people here first. All right."
As we were coming up to dock and I see the crowd of people, hello, hello, yes, it's true. The group daddy has come.
And right beside you, the man with the purple top hat, he's there. He's like, "Oh, finally, land. Oh, I can smell it. I can smell the dirt. It's beautiful." And he rushes over to like be the first one off the ship.
I don't think he's gonna make it. I gotta be honest.
What was that?
I said I don't think you're gonna make it.
Oh, no, I make it every single time. I am an adventurer, you see. Yes, don't give me that look. Somehow I can tell the expression on your face. I am the great and renowned magician, Sir Lulelo.
Lulelo?
I've not ever heard of you.
Yeah, Sir Lulelo. I have all manners of tricks, and I'd be happy to show you, but my feet must touch solid ground first. It has been far too long that I have been on this ship, and with a terrible method of transportation. I can't believe they made us shit in a tree. Anyways, and he walks off the ship, down the plank. The captain kind of like falls behind, and he goes, "All right, Rowan, you're coming with me. Guests, you're free to go. The island is yours. You heard that warning, though. The ship will be here. We'll try and find a way to leave before this mess happens." Barge leaps off the ship. All the Genementals capable of flight, they kind of disembark the ship. They bring the wounded with them. Koku and Uko, they bring the hammerhead shark man with the wild core. They come up to you, Tisela, and they say, you were gonna bring them to Nan, is that right?
Yeah, that's the best place for him to be. And then we can go now. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. So you lead the way, and they will follow after you as they start bringing it. At this point, Borbo, Trevor, what are you doing? Ika is going to hop onto your back, Rowan. She's accompanying you and the captain.
I'm also following Rowan.
My muse.
I think Borble would just stick with the squad for now.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yep. The rest of the crew, Gilbert and Larry, and even the Nira and Mabui, they kind of like stay up on the deck of the ship for a bit as they sort of like they tend to Warren, who is still incredibly seasick after all of this. And Sulim is there with him, and he's helping him with magic to make him feel better. As you guys come down the plank and onto the docks, there are quite a few these dock workers who kind of immediately approach, and the captain goes, "Bugger off, Halaya! Get the hell out of here!" And he kind of swings his big coat out, and you see that they're kind of like waiting for whatever shipments have been brought on the boat, but they're not being brought down. The captain kind of kicks at the plank, and the crew members kind of lift up the plank so that these crazed dock workers can't just like immediately rush aboard.
They're paid by the crate that they move, so they're trying to get on it, I guess.
And so they all look kind of disappointed, like, "Oh man!" And they're just like waiting around. Then you kind of get like a second wave of these like fishermen kind of show up, and they've got all this like fresh fish in these like big baskets and stuff, and they're all bringing them out like, "You got gold, you want to buy some fish, and they like kind of shoving them in your face. And the captain,
How much for their bones?
we got bones, now bring the bones. And like two of them kind of like scurry off to go grab a barrel of bones.
I just walk off.
Yeah, they kind of like disappear, and then you're gone, and by the time they show up, they're like, "Where'd he go?"
Should have been quicker with the bones.
Captain kind of just ignores most of these and pushes through until he meets with a rather kind of like slender, tall, regal-looking individual with kind of like this like thick black hair. It's kind of like pulled back. He's got these little they're like little vines growing out of his temple, and they're kind of braided into the side of his hair. Little sprigs of like little leaves on them too. He looks mostly elvish, but he clearly has some sort of like plant mutation of some kind. Maybe he's like an eladrin of some sort. And he's wearing like a big coat, similar to what the captain is wearing. It's not as extravagant with like these spikes and things like that. But he does have kind of like this golden badge on his chest, and with the initials NG. And he goes, "Captain Clipper, I hope you had a nice voyage. We got a glimpse of what happened out there." Really? How nice of you, David Rain. So, what do you need? Got a lot to discuss. Don't gather that you heard that warning from the Leviathan. No. But your right-hand man, he left us a message. He always was quick. Where'd he go off to anyways? Flew towards the inland. Probably to see his family. Right. Can we speak someplace a little quieter? There's too many people here. Come to my office. And he goes and he sort of looks at all of you and he goes, "Welcome to Geneset. My name is David Rain. I'm the division leader here for the Highwind Corps. I'll answer whatever questions you have, and we'll get you settled in. I see some of your guests." And he kind of looks at you, Rowan, and goes, "I don't believe you're a local. Anyways,
No.
come with me." And he leads you off to this large building, sort of away from the docks. It's this large black building. It's got several floors, and it's got a portion that is kind of like raised up, almost like a platform. It kind of looks like a helipad. There's nothing on it at the moment. And he leads you to the building. It takes a few minutes to get there. And are there any questions that you guys have as you guys are approaching the building?
What is this building that we're going to?
It was the headquarters here on Geneset, in Port Fiogo.
It's not for citizens of the island, and that's where we'll be staying.
You can stay here if you'd like. We have some lodgings. There are more quaint places if you'd prefer. There's the guild hall, and there's a couple taverns that you could get yourself a bed if you prefer. But we'll accommodate you if that's what you want.
Well, I know it's not quite a sightseeing that we're here on, but I'm hoping to get a good feel for this land. Hoping to perhaps speak with some of the locals and see what it is to be living on the island. What about you and your experience here?
I've been here for nearly 100 years. It's been a long time. I've seen the island change quite drastically. And I've also seen, kind of as you guys are like walking up, it's like all sort of like sloped upwards. So he looks back down over to the pier. And he goes, "It used to be much friendlier here. We work together with the Genementals. And there are some that are still, they still believe in our vision. They still work with us. But the tribes, they found their own way. And I think that way doesn't include us anymore. So it's been tough. I can tell you more. So
I should like to hear it.
And the captain kind of goes, "I want to row about that. I ain't leaving my ship all alone. But if you want to go out there, you have my permission. I know things they're bad right now. But maybe you can figure out what's really going on."
Perhaps with the aid of someone nimble and smarter than I am. And I give a little kind of like, not a wink, but just a glance over to Ika, who's with us.
Yeah, and she's kind of like on your shoulder, and she like looks at you and catches your glance, and I don't know, maybe like does like a little like pull on your ear or something, just as like teasing you.
A capital idea. I'm sure Rowan will get to the bottom of it.
Anyone but me, Trevor. Anyone but me.
And
a modest hero. Perfect. You're perfect.
With that, you guys get to the building. You get to the building, and he welcomes you guys in, and he'll bring you over to his office. And Tasela, as we move away from here just briefly, you are flying ahead. Koku and Uko are following behind you with the wounded Genemental.
Okay.
And they follow you up the hill all the way to the end of what would be Port Fiogo, to Nan's parlor. And as you're coming up the small slope to the parlor, which is made up of several buildings, and there's also kind of like this large garden section off to the side, you have some like a fellow mentee, someone under Nan. His name is Wish, and so it's somebody that you've lived the past few years with, and you're quite close with. He tends to the garden. I think you catch a glimpse of him. He's out in the garden. He's kind of waving, saying hello from the distance, and he's like watering his plants and tending to them. And
Okay.
just as you crest over the top of the hill, catch a glimpse of him, the parlor suddenly goes up in flames.
What? What?
And that is where we're going to end it for
No,
today.
you did not. No.
Nan! Nan!
She with her little itty bitty wings were flying toward it, screaming. Yes, exactly. Wow, I hate you right now.
That's all, folks. Thank you so much, everybody, for playing. That was great. We finally made it to the island. Finally. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And now I do have a question because this wasn't really confirmed, but I think I'll just say it here. Next week, next Thursday, can we go back to Champs Challenge?
We can.
We start the bi-weekly?
Sure.
Beautiful. That's freaking beautiful. All right.
We can do so. The next week's champs, so get your characters ready.
Yep. Next Thursday, Champs Challenge, season
Simon, if you're watching.
3.5.
Take care.
But before then, catch us on Tuesday for probably more Dimensionauts.
Yeah.
More Dimensionauts Bloodlines. Be sure to follow us on YouTube and TikTok for VODs and shorts. And make sure to join the Discord if you haven't already. A link will be posted in the chat, please, and thank you. And have a good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. We're the Hexagon, and we're Hexagon.
Bye bye.
You trash, okay?
Bye-bye.